Hi, and thank you for joining Pilates Down Under Fitness and Movement with me, Cyndi. I'm in Melbourne, Gippsland, and it is the perfect morning to do a good morning Pilates workout. A 30-minute full body session, which is low impact, as we work on flexibility, strength, and endurance. You'll work on muscle balance and core strength. Remember, there's no fast and hard rules. If it hurts, don't do it, and if it's challenging, push through it. You know your body and your body knows you, so listen to each other. Remember, repetition is the mother of skill, and consistency is definitely key. So feel free to leave a message and subscribe, and find the joy in each move. So let's start with our warm-up. Legs out wide, arms extended. We're going to take it down for windmills. So opposite fingers to opposite toes. Keep your knees slightly bent. You're going to feel a really nice stretch at the back of the legs. You'll also find that really beautiful rotation on the spine, so really lengthening and stretching as we start to warm up the body. Those arms are nice and long, basically an extension from your collarbone, so all the way to the fingertips. As you come up, draw the belly button towards the spine and continue that beautiful rotation. You do a few of these, and as you do these, think of your breathing. Inhale and exhale where you feel comfortable. Let's move on to the next exercise, which is a nice lateral stretch. Extend one hand over the head, and then I want you to bring your chest towards the mat and get that really nice diagonal along the back. Bring it back to the center and come back. Let's do that on the other side. So extend it up, lower one hand down, really creating that nice rainbow shape on the side of the body, opening up the ribs. Rotate it, get that nice long stretch. Come back to the center, and then come back up. Roll those shoulders back. Now get the arms into a genie position if you like, or hands on hips as you feel comfortable, and do simple knee raises. We're just warming up. We're trying to get some movement going and momentum. Those knees don't need to come up too high, but it's best bringing the knees to the elbows as opposed to the elbows to the knees. Keep the arms up nice and high. Chin up, draw the belly button in. Keep that natural curve of the spine. Hands behind the head, fingertips just supporting or tipping the back of the skull as you do a combination. So we're going to do a lateral stretch and then a rotation. So we're combining the two exercises we just did previously. Remember, we're just warming up. We don't want to give our joints and muscles any shock, causing any injuries. So you take your time. Now this is a great intro to balance as we lift that knee up with a rotation. So center yourself. The supporting leg needs to be nice and strong. You don't need to go down to the side too far. It's just a really nice lateral stretch. And let's take it to the other side when you're ready. So bring it down. I want you to pretend that as you do that lateral stretch, that you're in between two panes of glass. Okay, so we're not tilting forward or back. As we lengthen and open up the ribs, those muscles in between our ribs are called the intercostal muscles, and we're going to give them a nice stretch as well. They work pretty hard day to day. That's it, you've only got a few more. Arms out nice and long as we do one more rotational stretch. So we open our arms up nice and wide, we close them, and we glide it along our chest. That's it. This is really nice. Plus it's a really nice morning. A nice distraction to each movement that we do today. So hopefully you'll find the joy in these exercises as much as I do. Take it over to the other side when you're ready. This particular exercise I would do every day. Like first thing, wake up in the morning, give our spine a really nice rotation, opening up the chest, opening up the heart, and getting ready for the day. Good job. Okay, let's move on. Hips, knees, ankles in alignment. Hands on hips if you like, as we go into a really basic squat. I don't want you to come down too far. Just warming up the knees here, getting that really nice stretch at the back of the Achilles. And if you like, start extending the arms out in front. You can see my arms do not go overhead. I'm still just warming up the shoulders, getting my body ready for the workout. When you're ready, hold it down here and just hold. And then we're going to do reverse hundreds. So lengthen the back, but you've got that natural curve in the lower lumbar. As you squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the palms up to the sky. You do not need to come down too low. And when you've done that, take a deep breath in, as we've got, I think, one more stretch, and we're good to go. Okay, let's take the legs out a little wider. Arms out to the side. Go into a high lunge. That's it. Get your feet into position. Lengthen the arms. Chest facing forward. As we lower, one hand down onto the mat. In alignment with your feet. Extending the other arm. Getting that really nice lateral stretch. Come back to the center. Reposition yourself. Bend the front knee into a higher lunge. And when you're ready, lower and extend. Now, if this is difficult, as in you tend to lose your balance, just place your hands on your knees, okay, as you lunge into that high position. Bring the feet in, and let's get started. Ready to rock and roll. Bend the knees slightly, get into position. This is your first balance of the day. Hands on hips, point the toes. I want you to give me a half circle. Now, with these standing exercises, feel free to hold on to the wall. No big deal. The supporting leg, which is my right leg, will start to feel the burn pretty soon. But what I'm working on is the rotation in my hip socket, going back and forth. You'll tap the front, you'll tap the back. Still growing nice and tall, as if someone's got a piece of string and pulling you up. Hands are just relaxed on the hip bones. And the whole aim of this exercise is to work on your balance, but to also work on coordination. Try to get the flow going. One side will always be more graceful than the other. Keep that supporting knee bent as you bring that leg out and behind and back to the front again. What we are trying to do is not shift our hip bones or our pelvic area back and forth, like rocking it. I like to visualize that your upper body is in between that pane of glass, and it's only that hip socket that's moving. And that hip socket is our biggest socket. So it's really cool that it can move in 360 in all different directions. Okay, extend those arms out in front. Come up high on your heels, onto your tippy toes, and glide down like you're against the wall, and then come back up. Draw the belly in, chin up, work on that focus. And it does not matter if your heels hit the ground, no big deal. This is supposed to be fun. So enjoy the wobbles, the falls, the tumbles. I promise you, as you practice these, they will become second nature. So we don't come down too far. We're reaching forward, trying to keep out or find the perfect gaze. Place those hands behind your head, fingertips just behind your skull, the back of the head. And you may find this a little bit easier. If you can and if you like, hold it down here and start to pulse. Try to get up high on your tippies. Open up the chest. Feel the burn. It's going to start to sizzle. And stand up nice and tall. Roll it back. Nice. Okay, take those legs out a little bit wider. Hands on hips. Draw the belly in. And we're going to go into what we call a curtsy. We're going to take this nice and easy. So we curtsy with our knee lowering down to the ground towards the opposite heel. It doesn't have to be too big. This works on balance, mobility, and works on a number of planes of our body. Draw that belly button in because that's what's going to keep you sturdy. Draw the ribs in, like knit your ribs in together. Draw them in, don't let them flare out. Relax the shoulders. Lengthen the neck. And when you're ready, we can add a flick. Almost like you're wearing a shoe and you're flicking it off. Now you'll find this probably a little bit easier because we're going a little bit faster and you have momentum on your side. So bring it down and flick it up. You're going to start feeling the burn here. It's like a hot soup. The supporting leg is going to catch on fire. You stop and shake it out whenever you like. But this is standing Pilates and we're working on our balance and everything else. So let's shake it out. Trust me, these birds are wondering what the heck we're doing. Now, let's go over to the other side. We're going to start off with curtsy. Find your positioning with this. And if curtsying is a little challenging, which it is, stick to your basic squats, which will still help with, your balance, building strength in the quads, still working on the glutes. Curtsy is just working in a different direction and adding variety to our workouts, really. Okay, get nice and strong and get ready for the flick. And remember, when you flick, get that knee up nice and high. Let's go. Let's go. Curtsy, bring it up and flick. That's it. Great job. Try to come down a little bit lower and maybe flick a little bit higher. Work in your range of movement. You're going to start building some cardio here. That stabilizing leg will start to burn, so push through it, please. You got this, and you're done. Shake it out, roll back those shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Tilt that head back. Tilt it forward and slowly roll down. Let's do a standing cat stretch, rolling back the shoulders and lengthening out the spine. So we're going to a nice cat stretch, but when we come down, we want to go into neutral spine. So you keep that natural curve and then go into a cat stretch. That should feel really good. You'll also get that nice stretch in the back of the legs. Awesome. Roll it down. Give yourself a break. And then slowly peel up. Whew, here we go. Moving on. Let's grow tall. Everything's in alignment. Stack it like a building. Bring one knee up. You'll take it out to a diagonal, then bring it into the center, and then take it across. So let's think of it as a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 11, depending on what leg you're working. But you'll get the gist of it. We take it out a fraction, we bring it back to the center, and then we bring it across the body, without our body rotating with it or turning in the direction of the knee. Now, to add a bit more of a challenge, try not tapping your toe on the mat. If you're holding onto a wall, you should be able to do this and just float the leg up and across, float it back up, and then take it out. You might find a little pinch, and that's just you working all your glute muscles from your maximus to your medius to your minimus. This is very challenging, especially with balance, so you really need to engage that core. Let's take it over to the other side. Woof. Okay, you take your time. I definitely will. Bring that knee up, please. Take it across. Bring it to the center, and then take it away from your middle. So back to the center. Take it across. Bring it to the center, and take it away. These movements are really small, like micro. Now the supporting leg, it's going to start to shake a little. So keep that knee slightly bent for a bit of support. You don't have many to go. You're going to start floating that knee up if you can, without touching the mat. Oh, you're almost there. Oh, I think this is the last few, because I can't do any more. Oh, let's squeeze it in, and shake that out. Ooh, that's going to feel good. Your hips are going to love you after this class. Okay, roll those shoulders back. Recenter yourself. Do what you need to do to prep yourself for the next exercise. You take your time. It's a nice day. I sure will. Okie dokie. Growing tall. Hands behind the heads. Open up the heart. Grow nice and tall. Now we're adding our squat with the basic knee lift. The only difference here is we're alternating. You'll go a little bit quicker, which will help with your balance if you need to. If you can slow it down, even better. Those squats, you need to come down a little bit more than we did in our warm-up. You're sitting back on that imaginary chair. You're going to try to bring up those knees a little bit more. And when you bring those knees up, remember that last exercise with the genie arms? The knees came up, your elbows did not drop. And that's the same thing as we want here. Knees will come up. With the previous hip exercises and hip opening exercises, you'll find that you'll come up a little bit more. And the pre-balance exercises will work for you as well. Now, if you like, add a rotation. So a knee lift with an oblique or spinal curl. So we're rotating. Let's twist a little bit more with the spine. And remember, with your spinal rotation, you move from your thoracic. You're not moving for your lower lumbar. Let's twist. Start waking up the obliques. You have a few more. Let's build up the cardio. Work on the balance. Start the burning in the quads, in the legs. But you didn't expect that one. Let's stretch out the neck, rotate it left to right without moving your entire body with it. Give that cervical a really nice stretch. Relax the shoulders, shake out the feet. Do what you need to do. We take out the legs a little bit wider this time. Reset. Take that deep breath in. And hold it there as we do a nice lateral stretch. Come back to the center as we rotate the top arm around. And come back up. This is our first rotation with our shoulders, which also includes your scapula, your shoulder blades. Okay, let's grow nice and tall, palm to palm. Take it right down into a sumo squat. Now, if you cannot come down that far, then don't. If your heels lift, let them lift. But we do a sumo squat down, shoot up straight into that beautiful lateral stretch. Remember, 2 panes of glass, so you don't rotate forward or back with those stretches. You come down only as far as you can. If it helps, you can always, in the next time you play this video, maybe put some books underneath your heels and then slowly remove them. But that sumo squat is so good for you, great for digestion, really nice for opening up the hips. It's when we deep fold. The strength in coming up is definitely challenging. We're using our body weight. Come on, let's build that strength from the inside out. Glide it down. Now this time I want you to hold it down here. Push your elbows into your inner thighs. So get that nice stretch. From here, I want you to lift one heel, then the other, only if you feel comfortable. You can also place your fingertips on the mat for a bit of balance, if you like. So that shifting of weight left to right in this folded position is definitely challenging. It's the only reason I'm doing this outside, so I've got distractions. Hands on the mat, slowly peel it up. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Deep breath in as you slowly articulate that spine into a standing position. Okay, let's wiggle those hips. I'm sure some of us do Zumba, which is a class that I'm absolutely terrible at. Rotating left and right, front to back. Okay, let's go. Gather your thoughts. Everything's stacked again. Draw the belly in, grow nice and tall. Knit the ribs in. Hands out to the side into a low cactus. And here we go again. Alternate the knees as we bring it out, bring it in, and back to the center. What we are trying to do is not shift our body as our knee is out. So hips try to stay nice and square. Now we've done enough exercises leading up to this for me to know that you are prepared for the balance. And you can open up the hips. You don't need to come out too far. You can place your hands on your hips or behind your head, wherever you like. Hold on to that wall. Really pull that belly button in. Don't let your ribs flare out. While your hands out to the side, you might decide that you want to squeeze those shoulder blades. Okay, let's shake this out. Moving on. Resume position. Like we're in the military. Soften the knees. Point the toes and take it out to the side as we do straight leg raises. Now, this movement will be very small. You're going to feel it in the supporting leg for sure. It's going to start to sizzle. Try not to kick up the leg. Let's lift and lower. Hold. And now give me some small pulses. Look, we've done this many times lying down on our side. The only thing we've done is we're now standing up. Let's bring it down. Woo-hoo-hoo. Awesome. Trust me, Mother Nature in the background is giving us a roaring applause. Reset, leg out, and just lift. Single lifts. As many as you can, take your time. We're not counting through these. Because when I'm in pain, numbers do not matter. So let's lift, stabilize, engage those glutes as well, those big powerhouse muscles. Hold and let's do a few pulses. This is almost like a cameo exercise. Let me just throw this in for a little bit of spice. It's like the sprinkle on top of a cake. And lower it down. Roll it up. We are good to go. Listen, we don't have much to go. We're like another 5 minutes or so. Standing at the end of the mat. Take that deep breath in again, please. As we dive forward, palms on the mat and walk it forward into, I guess, a short plank position or a quadruped position, and do your cat here, opening up the shoulder blades, back to neutral spine. Do it again, please. So we did this exercise standing, now we're taking it down onto a quadruped position. Hips and knees are in a line, should feel really nice. Good job. Curl those toes under. Shoulders, wrists are all in alignment as we do a few scupular presses. Now you know that this is not a push-up. Really protracting and retracting our shoulder blades, which are pretty much part of our shoulder and attached to our clavicle, our collarbone. So we need to love these bones because they don't attach anywhere. They just literally float and glide along our ribs. So find that neutral spine, please. Curl those toes under and we go into a hover. So this we call half a plank hover, bear hover. You'll hear a couple of names for it. So you just push away from the ground, pick up the belly. Let's work on our core. Hold that. Build that inner core strength. Your knees just come up as high enough as if I was to glide a credit card underneath your knees. You've got this. Do your best. Lower it down when you're ready. And shoot up into a down dog when you're done, when you're completely over that ridiculous exercise, which is so good for a whole lot of things. It's like vegetables. Not the best tasting things, but we know that, they're full of goodness. It's a bit like Pilates. Give yourself a dog wiggle, holding that down dog, getting that full lengthening. Walk the hands towards the feet and slowly peel up. We're in our home stretch. Deep breath in as you hug those knees and bring it up again. When you come down, really hug. Create that C curvature of the spine. And again, or as many times as you like. As you open up the heart, open up the shoulder blades, then open up the heart again. As you start to fold, you can come down a little bit further if you like. Inhale and exhale. Give gratitude with each movement. Open up the heart. Nice big stretch as we hug our chest. And open it up again. Compressing the lower spine. Cross the hands over the other way. One more time. Oh, I love this one. Especially towards the end of an exercise. As we breathe, draw the belly in. Hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Let's finish off with a nice hinge. Neutral spine. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. My legs are nice and lengthened as I feel that really nice stretch from my glute all the way down to my calf. Reaching it forward into an arrow, lengthen, get that full length of the body and hinge it up. Last rotation exercise of the spine. I can't emphasize how important it is to rotate each day, to grow tall each day, to breathe and be grateful for each day. Palm to heart. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to leave a message. Is that going to attack me?
Nah, it's coming for your hair.
Oh no!
It's going to use it as a nest to lay the swan eggs in. That's hilarious.
Oh no!
It's alright, they're nowhere near you.